Hey everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood personal trainer. Who else but Tommy Else? Welcome to the podcast. This is where I share stories about my time as a personal trainer for almost 20 years, coming up in October. Um, and I like to talk about things that I've experienced as a trainer, things I've seen, different clients, their experiences. Today, I wanted to talk about something that I run into very commonly. Uh, you might, if you were to ask me, what's more difficult to deal with, someone who overeats or undereats, might be surprised to find out that it's the undereaters that are actually the toughest people to uh, help turn around their habits. And undereating is really one of the bigger issues. A lot of people may not realize it, but undereating is just puts weight on you like crazy, and it's just from a health standpoint not good for you. You let's take somebody who's taking in somewhere between 12 and 1500 calories a day. Okay, what those calories consists of is what's important more than the number of calories. So you want to obviously make sure that you're getting all of the vitamins and nutrients that your body needs to support all of your organ function, your brain and your heart, all the things that keep you alive, right? So if I run into somebody who's taking in, say, 7 to 900 calories a day, even if they're eating nothing but fruits and vegetables and they're just getting in lots of, good foods, there's still only so much room within that 900 to calorie window to get everything that you need. Okay. Now, if you're somebody who's taking in that many calories and you're not eating well, then you're really depriving your body of getting anything of any substance at all. And a lot of people will point to, well, I eat a lot of protein. It's like, yeah, but do you have vegetables and fruit mixed in there? No. Well, protein is just one source of energy that your body needs out of like a whole mess of other ones. you know, it is very important and does play a big part in weight loss and building muscle, but your body needs all of the vitamins, and just popping a multivitamin doesn't do it. So it's all about quality over quantity. So another thing, so what causes this is the next question. More often than not, what I find is that people over time can develop just a lack of appetite. They just don't feel hungry, and so no alarm goes off in their head where they're like, "Well, I'm hungry. I got to go eat something," And then they end up falling into this pattern of eating maybe once or twice a day, and that's it. People also who do this tend to have a lower water intake as well. And again, absolutely crucial to all of your vital organs, heart and brain, everything. Uh, so that pattern establishes itself, and so it does mentally. And so you become put on this sort of clock of, you eat once or twice a day. And for some people, it's hard for them to even eat those meals. And for other people, they push themselves all day where they don't eat. And then suddenly it finally hits them. And now they're just ravenous. And now that's when they have like that one meal a day. And then they say, well, I'm only eating one meal, so I can just eat whatever I want, which doesn't work that way. One thing I constantly keep trying to explain to people is that I did not make the rules about any of this. I did not design the human body. I did not come up with the system. There's a lot of people who don't think that it's fair because some people also do this consciously, thinking that they're going to lose weight if they just don't eat. Well, I'll only eat one thing today, and then that'll make up for what I did yesterday. And it doesn't work like that either. Your body isn't like keeping score like that. Okay. Without getting into all of the nitty gritty behind that. But there's a lot of, so if your body's not getting the nutrients it needs, there's a lot of effects that come along with that you may be dealing with and not understand where it's coming from. Things like you're just going to have lower energy levels because, the low calories, which is a source of energy, the low nutrients that are coming in your body, And when you have lower energy levels, it's sort of like a waterfall effect that falls, and it just makes a whole bunch of other, it's a chain reaction of other things. So poor sleep quality. You're not going to get good sleep when you're not getting the proper nutrition. If you have poor sleep quality, you tend to be more irritable and have mood swings, be more susceptible to that. Naturally, brain fog and having a hard time concentrating. That's another part of it. I mean, you just think about just a bad night's sleep. These are all things that kind of come along with that. And if this is just like you wake up a lot during the night, or you're just not falling into a deep enough sleep, it could have a lot to do with that. And then your cravings for things like sugars and fats can be really high because you go through these long stretches without this food. So then by the time you get to when you're ready to eat, you're down for whatever. So that's just some of the effects of it. Now it also is also going to slow down your metabolism because you're putting yourself in that starvation mode where your body sees these long stretches of time where it's like, all right, I get food once, maybe twice a day, limited amount of water. No matter what it is, good or bad, it's going to hold on to every last bit of it. It's a survival mechanism. It's trying to keep you alive. And people don't like that because it's aesthetically not what they want. What happens is that you ultimately start a process that exchanges muscle for fat. So you're not going to lose weight, you're going to lose muscle, and you're going to gain weight. And so your weight may stay the same or it may go up, but you're losing muscle, and muscle is like one of the most important parts of keeping a high metabolic rate. It's called your BMI, your basal, or I'm sorry, your BMR, basal metabolic rate. So that's how many calories your body burns in the course of a day just doing its regular functions, running your organs, all the internal stuff, just your day-to-day routine, not counting your workouts. Okay. So if you have a low basal metabolic rate, you're not burning enough calories throughout the day, and so this fat just starts building up. You end up starting to get bigger. This has psychological effects on you. Women doing this sort of, once or twice a day routine with the food can also have imbalances hormonally on you. The things I don't personally know much about, but I'm aware of. There's things like the loss of menstruation. It can have an effect on your thyroid. Generally, men or women, it also weakens your immune system because if you think about it, you're not getting like your vitamin C, you're not getting all the vitamin, you're not getting vitamin K, you're not getting things that would help you fight off getting sick. So if this is a dietary habit of yours and you find that you get sick a lot, that could be a very big part of it. Okay. Then you got digestive issues like with bloating and constipation because if it's not balanced, again, let's go back to the person who's having a lot of protein and real proud of that and everything. If they're not getting their vegetables and their fruit and they're not getting fiber, then you're going to definitely see bloating and constipation as a side effect of this as well. Uh, because you're not getting things like vitamin D and iron and calcium and, B12 and magnesium and all that stuff, you end up with things like brittle nails. You can have hair loss, weakened bones. You can find that, like, if you get a bruise, it takes longer to heal. Your iron was probably low. People who like bruise easily and it takes a long time, it's probably because they have low iron. Uh, and again, it's just because you're not, let's say a 750 calorie day diet, you're just not getting enough of the fuel you need. I've just seen firsthand, like I said, for nearly 20 years, I have a far easier time getting somebody to eat less than to get them to start eating more. And so a lot of the time what we do is we start trying to slowly add into the day. It's like, okay, when do we eat right now? All right, so you don't eat your first meal until 1 in the afternoon, which is no good. But so let's see if we can't start getting some sort of a breakfast in there. And then, if we have to, you set an alarm in your calendar or something like that. Because again, you don't have that mental alarm that's going to go off and be like, hey, I'm hungry, it's time to eat. You just don't, never even dawn on you, won't cross your mind. You're working, you're busy, and this is also something that comes with people in professions where they are just like, nurses and doctors. I can tell you right now, I see this with them more than anybody else because they are just 12 hours straight, nonstop. If they're lucky, they sneak a snack for like 15 minutes out of the vending machines during the day, and that's it. But that's just because they're moving all day. But they also aren't really that hungry because their bodies are just used to that routine. So, setting an alarm for yourself and reminding yourself you got to have something and make sure that it's something that's nutrient dense, whatever it is, that it has some value that it's going to bring to your body and not just satiate whatever craving you have or just make you feel full in the moment, you know. So, if this is something you think you might be suffering from, uh, feel free to reach out to me. I help people with their diets. You can visit my website, www.tommyelse.com. I guess I don't need to say the W's. I guess that's a given at this point in the internet now. It's like I don't need to say HTTPS either, but yeah, always feel free to reach out. You're just if you're one of these people, you're just completely underfueling your body, and whatever your goals are, whether it's losing weight or you're putting on muscle or you're trying to be athletic and train for something, if you don't fuel your body with the nutrients and things that it needs, it's never going to get there. You can spend all day in the gym, and while working out is very important and it's great, if you work out a lot and you're not giving your body the nutrients and protein and things like that it needs, all you're really doing is tearing your muscles down and making them smaller and slowing your metabolism down. So if this is a problem for you, let me help. Also, just another reminder, water. Draw lots of water. Drink lots of water. All right? That's my out for today. Drink lots of water. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate everybody who's been listening, by the way. I have been hearing from people who check out this show and telling me that they appreciate what they've been learning. If there's anything you ever want to hear me talk about in specific, or questions you'd like me to answer, anything like that, please definitely reach out to me, tommyelse@gmail.com, or like I say, you can go through the website, tommyelse.com. There's a thing at the bottom of the page where you can shoot me a message there. So, hope everyone's doing well out there. Be well, feel well. And until next time, I, of course, as always, have been who else but Tommy Else.